Welcome back to the Life Lead Shot Clock Show. I'm your host, Patrick Ross. Today's topic, we'll be talking about how can parents hurt their kids in the collegiate recruitment process. So Jeff, we know that parents can help their kids get to the next level, but how can parents actually hurt their kids from getting to the next level?
That's a great question. A lot of parents don't necessarily understand that they can actually be hurting their kids as opposed to helping their kids in the collegiate recruitment process. You and I both sit in on a lot of middle school and also rec school games. And what I hear a lot of times from parents from the stands is they're overcoaching their kids on the court. I've sat on a lot of sidelines where parents are going against what the coaches are actually telling the kids to do on the court. And parents don't understand that when a college coach is recruiting a player, it's a package deal. They're not just recruiting the kid, they're also recruiting the parents as well. So for instance, there's a lot of times where a coach or a team might have a bad game, and then that parent will go on social media and post negative things about the coach. So if a coach feels as if that parent is going to be a cancer to his team, he would rather not recruit that particular player, no matter how good that player might be, because he knows sometime down the line that parent is going to put something out there on social media or just out in the community that goes in direct opposition of what he wants to do with his or her program. So parents have to understand that do not be a hindrance to the coach. Allow your children to be coached. They're going to have some good coaches, they're going to have some bad coaches, but you as a parent cannot come in between that coach and that player. If you want to coach your child, wait until after the game and talk to that child privately, as opposed to trying to do it during the game. That actually hurts your child in the long run. Another example, I was at a game last week and there was a child that was very good, probably one of the best players on the team. They got into foul trouble early on in the game, and it was late in the game. They were losing by about 10 points or so, and the parents said, go ahead and use your last foul, it doesn't matter now anyway. And as a former college player and college coach, I looked over and I said, they don't even realize that what they're doing is hurting their child, because by instilling those types of attitudes and morals, you're gonna hurt that child, because they're gonna think, okay, if I'm losing, I can just do whatever I wanna do because I'm losing. That's hurting the child in the long run. So parents, please do not be a hindrance to your child in the collegiate recruitment process, because believe it or not, a college coach is just not only recruiting your child, they're also recruiting you as well.
Our goal is to highlight teams, athletes, and coaches. This week we have Cam Perkins here. Thanks for coming out to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Cam, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and what made you fall in love with the game of basketball?
I'm from Warner Robins, Georgia, and what made me fall in love with the game was my mom and my dad played, and watching NBA players growing up, and also it looked fun to play.
So you guys in Huntington made a quite explosion the past few weeks. How do you rate you guys' success on the basketball court?
We get ourselves involved in the game, and we're unselfish with the ball, and we talk on the court, and also when one of us don't know what to do, we help each other out.
So you guys are 6-0 in the season. You're averaging about 7.8 points per game, 5 assists. You guys seem to have a lot of chemistry. Where does that chemistry come from?
4 of our 5 starters have been playing with each other for several years now, and we know each other's attributes and tendencies very well.
You have a really smooth game and a high basketball IQ. Who do you compare yourself to?
Myself, because I would not like to be like anybody else. I would like to be by myself.
You've been a part of the Life Lead program for a while now. What have you learned from it, and how do you feel it has impacted your game and made it more competitive?
It's made my game more competitive by I'm on the next level before I'm on the next level. So I'm getting ready for the college stage and NBA stage before I even get there. And it helps me learn about stuff that I didn't even know about in 2 years. In a matter of 2 years, I learned a lot.
Tell us a little bit about some of your long-term goals, athletically and educationally.
Athletically, to get to the NBA. And if that doesn't work, my educational plan is for sports broadcasting. So if I don't make it to the NBA, I still can be involved with sports and still be close to the game.
So what are some of the things you would be looking for when it's time for you to sign with the college?
a good education and a good basketball program. Not just for basketball, but also for me to have something to fall back on.
What do you want college coaches to know about Cam?
A hard worker and a person who's gonna give it their all on the court and not give you attitude.
So is there anything else you want to say to the people, Cam?
For kids in the future, join Life League Coalition program because it'll help you in the long run, and also it helps you manage to see how it is to be an NBA player and a college player.
So how can people follow Cam Perkins on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at allstar_Cam5.
All right, well, Cam, thank you for coming on to the show. We look forward to covering more of your future success.
Once again, thank you for having me.
So this next segment is our weekly Q&A, and today's question comes from Instagram, and it asks, how can social media help and also hurt an athlete's recruitment?
So that's a great question. Social media can actually help, and it can also hurt a child in their recruitment process. We all know people who probably use social media in a negative way that can hurt them as it relates to getting a job or to get recruited or whatever their goals may be. So let's start off with how social media can actually help a child in their recruitment process. Social media is the newspaper of your life. You're basically putting out to the world who you are, what you stand for. You can use that to put out all the great things that you think about yourself. That's what it actually should be used for. You need to be putting highlights. You need to be putting your grades. You need to be putting anything that would say, hey, coach, come recruit me. Right? I'm the guy for you, or I'm the girl for you. That's what you should be using your page for. Anything positive about you, it should go on your social media page. This creates followers. This creates people talking about you. These will be your parents, your friends, college coaches, anybody that's interested in your brand. That's what you should be using social media for, is to build a brand around who you are. That will help you in the long run because people are already following you. So we have kids in our program now that are in elementary school and middle school that are already establishing brands for themselves. I'll use Ryan Patterson, for example. Ryan Patterson has a mohawk, right? He should be branding. He's already branding his mohawk. So people know him. That's actually in his Twitter, his Instagram handle is RP the Mohawk. So he's already establishing a brand about himself in elementary school to where once he actually get to high school, he's gonna have thousands of followers already. So people are gonna know who he is, which will help him in his recruitment process. Now, let's go to how social media can hurt you. Social media can be career suicide for a youth athlete or a young athlete because unfortunately some kids use social media to or as a popularity contest. Some people use social media to post the negative things about themselves, which will ultimately hurt you in the recruitment process. Remember, it's a news story about who you are. So if you're telling people that you engage in things that are affiliated with gang activity, or you're cursing, or I don't even know when shooting birds became popular again, but apparently it's the thing to do nowadays on social media when taking pictures. Anything like that is telling a coach that I'm not serious about what I'm doing, if that makes sense. You're telling a coach that I'm going to embarrass you if I come to your school, because you got to understand something. When you put on that school's name, you represent the brand of that school. So any college scholarship is an investment in your future. It's an investment for that team to get wins. So as a coach, I don't want to invest $20,000 a year on a player that I can't trust is going to show discretion on social media.
Before we cut it to the top 10 plays of the week, be sure you guys go purchase your Life League merchandise at lifeleaguecoalition.com. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LifeLeagueGA. Links will be down in the description. See you guys next week on the Life League Shot Clock Show.
Coming in at number 10, we got Justin Thomas splitting the defense. Coming in at number 9, we got Daniel Patterson with the floater. Coming in at number 8, we got number 24 of Weaver Middle School going behind the back and the leg. Coming in at number 7, we got Jalen Honan putting in work for the 10U Wave. Coming in at number 6, is that Dennis Rodman with the red hair? No, that's LL Cool Bray, Braden Vereen, putting in work for the 10U Wave. Coming in at number 5, we got
Nyland
Hunter, who's been putting up monster numbers. She actually put up 28 points her last game. Coming in at number 4, that's right, I said 4, we got Joshua Shannon making it look easy from long distance. Coming in at number 3, we got Cam Flowers of Huntington Middle School with the spin move. Coming in at number 2, we got Ryan Patterson with the buzzer beater. Coming in at the top spot this week, we got number 20, Kalia Scott of Howard Middle School, showing him the range. I see you, Scrappy.